ADHD, autism, updates, new light, me, and struggling with the identity of what happened yesterday, crying, and the identity of this channel and social media and how I'm doing this cut. Welcome. I've got a lot to update you on. So a couple of things. Thanks for being with me yesterday. If you were there yesterday, much love. It was a very spiritual experience. So I am a lot happier. I am a lot happier. I have calmed down. We haven't even been dieting right now. We still went out to the gym. We just enjoyed ourselves. I'm enjoying myself for a moment. And I'm trying to backtrack and understand what's actually gone on. And where have I kind of like in this cut, there's somewhere where I was like going, and then it's like, And basically I've taken on too much and I've lost a little bit of that power that was inside that was leaning into the pain. So I became happier, I became more content, and then the pain that I was leaning on that was driving me forward has diminished. Just like my book says, when the pain diminishes, the results begin to slow down. Because if it's not painful, why would I cause myself more pain to diet or to keep going? So we need to kind of, me, myself and I, we need to restructure. We need to really restructure on how this all operates. I believe that I need to be a little less telling you about exactly what I'm doing. Because what happens is I'll tell you what I'm doing, then I'll crack, then I'll snap, and then I'll be like, okay, then I have to tell the viewer, and then it's creating the viewer. Then I have to tell you, like, but that's my brain. Like my brain's like, oh, okay, then they're gonna like, you need to tell them that that's changed and why that's changed. And I go through all this analytical stuff. So there's basically lots of noise that's happened, where before I just had my big shirt on, I was just doing my thing, I was just keeping to myself and I was just getting it done and I was leaning into the pain and I was doing my things. When now I've gotten excited, YouTube's launched, things are happening, things are moving. I'm feeling really good in myself and how I'm looking and how I'm feeling. My sort of alignment is better, my spiritual self is better, I'm talking to more people. In general, I feel better, but with all of that, my results are diminished and I haven't, gotten it done. So I think from here, I need to chill out. And look, I was a professional illusionist when I was younger, a magician, right? I do magic. Magic is like, I would work out something and I would work something out and I'd be like, this is going to be amazing. It's going to amaze everybody. And that holds a lot of power for me. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to amaze you. I'm still filming here every day till I die. And I'd like to amaze you with the rig that I bring, the physique that I bring. And once I've amazed you, I'll tell you the secrets of how I got there and what occurred. But I think leaning into that power is going to be more beneficial for me instead of trying to live tell you what's going on, how it's going on. You're still going to see my emotional upswings and downs and ups, but it's like this, I need to remove a little bit of intensity about it and I need to bring a little bit of playfulness to it, a little bit of cheekiness, a little bit of like, okay, let me show you what I can do. Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Boom, 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 So that, we have a new light. It's cool. It's a new light. Do you want to see? You want to see. I know you want to see. Okay, here it is. It's a new light. So it's a new light. I've had it here already. I just want it to light my face a little better, but we're trying to upgrade. The problem is it's going to be really hard to travel with because it's really heavy. I'm going to need extra suitcases, extra luggage. I'm going to need to pay for an extra 40, 60 kilos worth of luggage each time, which is fine, but it's good. So I'm going to learn slowly how to use this light. But I really like the natural lighting in here as well because, well, this is my vibe. You get to experience what it's like, you know, living a vibe. And I always say, and in the last many years, I really like places that have a vibe. And this is like a warehouse, New York, but it gets natural light into it. And it's like, it's a vibe. It's a flavor. And because of that flavor, I want to pass that across to the camera because I want to say that your flavor, whatever that is, you know, whatever your flavor is, it's going to have a little bit of flavor too. So use your flavor. Okay. Okay. It's like, okay, flavor. ADHD. Let's talk about it. I was speaking to my ex yesterday. And she's basically confirmed for herself that she has autistic tendencies. And autism runs in her family, and you can actually see it. And it really broke my brain. Because here's what actually happens. In our relationship, this isn't the current ex, but it does relate to that. My previous ex, which we were kind of on and off for 16 years, I had consistent complaints. I was like, why do you do this blank face? It's like you're talking, but you're missing the emotions. And because I always am like, anybody can achieve anything, anybody can be motivated to do anything, I am always a person that's like, you can do anything. And I just go, no, you can rise up to be just amazing. What I've realized over the last several months is that I don't love myself. So what I would do is I would think that everything that I am is just whatever. Like, I'm just Andrew, anybody can do this. I don't take that I've mastered sales. I don't take that I've NLP practitioner. I'm a hypnotherapist. Magic is a huge part of me. I learned how people operate and how like brains operate to understand like what they see, what they don't see. Like my reality is very, very different to other people's. And so is your reality. Your reality based on your experience is very different to anybody else. So what I'd consistently do is I'd be like, nah, it's easy, you can do this. Because I didn't have an understanding of myself, I'd be like, you can do all this, this is easy. Like, put severe pressure on myself, severe pressure on the partner to just be amazing, and to do it without any experience or anything. So these poor girls, they love me, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I don't understand why you love me, because I kind of hate myself, and I don't understand why anybody would love me. So, but don't you have feelings? You know, why did you go immediately? Why are you not looking after, why aren't you calling me and asking me about my dad? Why aren't you doing all these things? And these constant complaints, and then they can't fix it. And that's irritating, because in my brain, I'm like, well, if somebody says put on a hat, well, I'm like, all right, I'll just start putting on a hat every day. Okay, I can do that. But she couldn't. And in her realizing that she has like autistic tendencies, and she's just learned how to sort of mask those things. Autism, when we talk about autism, right, people's brains and stuff and ADHD are just, everyone's wired a little different. So when you're wired a little bit different, we don't fully understand what happens with the brain. When you look at the brain, it's actually formed different. There's like gray matter, and there's just stuff which is different compared to another brain. Now, it is possible to rewire it and rebuild brain neurons and pathways. However, with things like have labels like autism and things like that, it's very difficult. And it would take an intense amount of work, maybe different substances, maybe different, like it would literally like take lots of work. Anyway, we go through that, realize she has autistic tendencies. Then I realize that towards the end of my previous relationship, the ex, the one that I'm deeply in love with, towards the end, and I think I already filmed this, she believed she has a mix of autism and ADHD. And at that time, it became very apparent to me that everything that I read about ADHD really landed for me well. Like, if I don't do lists, things aren't really done. If I don't, I'm a very intense person. I drive very intensely. I drive very intensely. I drive myself very intensely. I can run faster, hyper-focus really, really well. Now, is it a learnt skill or is it ADHD? And then I saw the lineage of my family. And you have my mum and her mum and me. We all had similar, something wasn't quite right. And then we looked at my sister, father, their mother, something also was a little different. Like our brains are wired differently. So what I realized is that it looks like on my sister, father's side, there's either neurodivergence or something on the autistic side, but very, very low key, but just a little less emotions, like not a lot of emotions. And they are that way. So I was brought up with the flavor of half of my ex, and it looks like I had the other half of my, which is this sort of the ADHD tendencies of this one. So my ex-partner was like, you are me, oh my G's, oh my G's. You are me, you can run fast, you can run. I love her brain. But then she had this autistic side as well, which meant she would miss emotions, miss cues. And the biggest thing was, so the biggest telltale sign with autism is when there's too much stimuli around, they cannot concentrate on what you're saying. So while you're looking at this, they'll hear something there, they need to do something, they'll hear something. They cannot concentrate on the words that you are saying. And this was exactly the same in both of my exes. My other ex did not have ADHD, so I definitely felt a different vibe. She was very much more like a duh, duh, duh. But this one's like a, this previous ex is like a duh, 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 roar. So my ex, and why I was in love with her, and still am, like the ex that's broken my heart into a million billion pieces and I love her to bits, is actually the perfect mix for me, because I grew up with that on the father-sister side and grandparents, and I have the other side. She is literally my human. Literally my human. And then instantly I got so upset and I had to send her a message. Sorry, I did. I've been making her wrong. I've been like, why are you such a shit person? Like in my head, and you've seen it, you're a narcissist, you're a this, you're a this, you're a this. Man, bits of those things may be true, but not really. This girl tried everything. From courses to coaching to conversations to... So suddenly they're crying at your own reflection in the mirror or being hypersensitive is no longer a manipulation. It's no longer an emotional tactic. It's not a narcissistical anything. She is mentally wired different, and I made her wrong for that, and I just didn't accept her for the way that she is. Now, we can all go back in hindsight and say, could have done better. Now I know. And now I accept her the way she is. if she becomes aware to what her brain can and can't do, I finally now see how relationships work. So you need to come at it with know thyself as much as you know thyself. So you know thyself, okay? So I need to know that I'm a high-powered individual and I send it in anything that I do, okay? So I need to be careful. I can have substance abuse problems. I can have dopamine problems. I can have serotonin problems. I get hyper-focused, so I need to be really careful what I do focus on. So, me wearing the same shirt every day is actually a big benefit for me because it removes a decision for me. It's like one thing, cool, done. Now, we can argue that that would be useful for anybody because anybody that removes some brain power from clothes choices or anything can actually begin to channel that more into what they do. But maybe I need to be even better at it. Look at that, even better. I need to be more intense about it. I was like yesterday, we're going to be calm, we're going to be chilled, we're going to be like, I need to be less calm. And then I was like, oh, I have ADHD. No, I'm intense. We are still on the mission of rewiring and calming everything down. So don't mistake that. However, I need to come with what I am. The other person needs to come with what they are. And I need to go, okay, I like that, or here's how we can make that work. Here's how we can't make that work, or here's the workarounds for that. Like every human being, like my ex filled my soul. She changed my life. She's changed my entire life. I am so thankful for her, and it's not over, just so everyone knows. It's not over. I'm looking to nobody, by the way. It's not over. She changed my life. But emotionally sometimes there's like brain gaps. Okay, cool. You accept the person for who they are and who they're not. Why am I putting people to like this epic standard? What if somebody's like, oh, you're too intense? Yeah, a lot of people have told me I'm too intense. Okay, but I've got all these other qualities because of that intensity. So if you like my intensity, yeah, unfortunately I struggle with this. Okay, so if I love my ex for everything that you are, I loved her brain. I didn't love her brain. I respected her brain like, and this is weird, it might sound egotistical and it kind of is, but it's coming from a self-love place. Like, I met a person that I loved her brain more than mine. Not more than mine, but I loved her brain. It was just so magical. The things that she would say, the things that her perspective or view on the world was 5,000 out of 10 for me. And with that came things that she struggled with. Could have gotten better over time, maybe not. Needed to find workarounds. But I hold people to such high, intense accounts instead of being like, hey, here's how you work. Now, 14-year age gap, she's younger. She hasn't had the time to figure out how she operates. So she needs to know as much as we can know, like I'm gonna know myself now. In a year, I'm gonna know myself better, as much as you can know. But if she hyper focuses on understanding herself better, then at least we can find a lot of solutions, if that makes sense. And for me, that's so eye-opening. So why I messaged her is because I wanted to apologize and release anything immediately of anything that I have said or made her wrong, because I wouldn't want her to feel like she's a bad human for her wiring. That is not correct. And human beings aren't bad, which is why it fucked me up so much. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Humans aren't bad. Humans inherently aren't bad. I wasn't bad in the relationship. I wasn't bad. I'm saying these things. I wasn't like, I did my absolute best. Like, I wasn't bad. Nobody is out there to cause bad. So it like screwed my brain up that she did something bad to me. Why? How? And I couldn't explain it. So this gives me an explanation, and I wanted to release her of anything that she would, if she would dare say, think that she's bad, because a lot of people with mental stuff can get down a pretty bad rabbit hole because everybody says you're a bad person, or everybody's saying you're missing something, and then eventually you're like, well, maybe I'm not meant for this world. And that's horrible to say, but it is thoughts that we dealt with in our relationship. From her side, and that's really tough. Like that's really tough, and I wouldn't want anything of the sort to ever be there. And I would like to be the person that's the stand for, you just be you, boo. You just be you. You just be you. Awesome. So relationships to work, and this is really the mental model, is figure out who the person is, and so have to have a baseline of trust and honesty. Have to have a level of honesty, trust, must. Because if you don't have honesty and trust, then you're not dealing with live facts. And we dealt with that in our relationship as well. So once you have honesty, then you deal with real live facts. And then as you figure out all the facts, and here's who I am, here's who I am, you figure out if you like that as a whole. Like if that as a whole is like, yes. And that includes the stuff that you don't like. Do you like the stuff that you don't like? You have to like the stuff that you don't like. What if I would be like, great, emotionally she's sometimes disconnected. Great, I'm super emotional. I'm ups and downs and she's disconnected. That's fantastic. I wouldn't have her any other way. Fantastic. Somebody's gonna keep the ship, stable. Fantastic. Fantastic. You have to like the bad. You can't be like, oh, this doesn't work for me. You have to look at the bad and see if you like the bad. Like, that's actually a great thing. That's actually a great thing. And not in a lie to yourself. It's not like, oh, no, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. You have to look at it and be like, that's a great thing. That's a really great thing. She would have to look at me and she's like, I love your intensity, I love your brain, I love how you are. And the fact that you are so emotional and you can connect with people, even though I don't understand it, I love that, because then I don't have to worry about that, and we together can, you can introduce me to people or whatever that is. So she would have to do the same. She would literally have to choose me as I am, and I would have to choose her as she is, and then the relationship works, and we're married and love and great, That's great. I do want to hug. I told somebody at the gym yesterday that I was like, I just want to hug, I'm lonely. And he was like, yeah, let's go. And we hugged. It was a him. And we hugged and it was great. Humans are so nice. I have been so afraid of humans and been like in this war stage all the time. I'm like, we're all fighting, we're all intense. And now I've just been talking to everybody. And humans are just so nice. Everybody is so nice. Maybe it's because I'm jacked, but not really. Like, everyone is so nice. Everyone just wants to help. And all I want to do is I just want to say nice things about them. So whenever I see something about anybody that's nice, I have to tell them. Today I told a guy, I was like, your stretching is unbelievable. His mobility was unbelievable. You should have seen what he does. I had to tell him. I had to. It amazed me. Why would I not tell him? Then we got into a great conversation. Saw somebody in the supermarket yesterday. I was like, oh my God, I see you at the gym all the time. You have a crazy condition all year round. She was like, oh, yep, okay, thank you, I'm trying to gain some fat right now. She's like, but you're super fit as well. And I was like, thank you. And then we're like, ah, and then, great. Little gifts of goodness throughout the day, but people are so nice. So I'm on this new trend. Now, with this ADHD thing, I'm not diving deep into it because a label is so dangerous to become the label, right? Because our reality is shaped by what we think we are. If I think I'm a powerful person, I will show up with my actions as powerful. If I am a sad person, I'll be sad for my whole life. If I'm now showing up as a happy person and I believe that people are nice, people show up as nice. If I go, I have ADHD, and I read something that's like, oh, you're going to really struggle with that, then I will actively begin to struggle with that. So my job is to keep that somewhere sort of in the back of my mind, not front and center, keep it there, keep the positives of it. ADHD means that when I sit down at a task, I can hyper-focus and I can get it done, and it's going to get done at laser speed, and I'm going to finesse and get all the details. ADHD may mean that I do have a lot of output and a lot of energy. So me being energetic and outputting a lot of energy is a good thing. Do that. I can take the positive attributes from it and more see it like a little blueprint. Okay, so people that have those sort of labels tend to find this helpful. Okay, cool. Sugar. Makes sense why sugar really screws me up. It is a potential that I experience diet changes way more intensely on my brain than other people. And I know that's weird for me to say, because I only said a couple of days ago, I was like, this is everybody, but it is everybody, but the extent of it for me may be super, super heightened. Okay, so if it's super heightened for me, I need to chill out. I need to be more inclined to, okay, sugar, refined sugar is not an easy, it changes my whole mood, it changes everything. Okay, cool. Very interesting. Very interesting place to be in. But I'm happy. I'm happy today. I'm happy for a longer period than I have been generally. Not that anything's winning, not that anything's losing, not that anything has majorly changed, but I'm happier, and the rig still isn't done. My goals haven't been achieved, but we're cruising, we're flowing towards it. I'm moving every day. I'm up at 5 a.m. and we go until 10 p.m. and we move, and sometimes we have a dance and on the way, and that's fine. But I'm happier today, and that is like a huge win, because it's like a content happiness. It's not a forced happiness. It's not a substance happiness. It's like I'm calm. I'm happy. I'm not too happy. I'm not like, ah! And I'm not like, just be happy. I'm just happy. So, seemingly what I've been saying over the last couple of days has made a profound difference in realizations about the experience of life. And I just want to leave you with my favorite quote. It is a luxury in this world to be fully you. So be fully you. The weird, the wild, the wonderful, all of it. The good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, all of it. Be you, because it's a luxury to be you in this world. And the more I'm able to feel and be me, the better life feels. The better, yeah. And everyone's different, and that's fucking beautiful. Be you, and have the best day. I'll see you tomorrow. I love my new life. Peace.